One, two, three. Hello, hi, welcome in the nest, which is a small literature club that I wanted to create. And this stream was meant to be the third stream in the series, but because of personal reasons, because of life that happens too, because of life, I had a lot on my head. And the fact that I have a memory span of a goldfish. Because of those reasons, I forgot to download my previous streams and upload them in the archives. And because of that, those previous streams are gone. Nothing else I can tell here. Just that I made a small, well, not small, a very big, significant blunder. It's all on me. So if by any chance you have seen the previous stream, you are free to watch this one, but I'll just retell the story of Obi Oba. It's a very important story, very significant for the future, for my plans that I have. We can start from north. Oh. And I got a mail. Eula. Oh, happy birthday, Eula. As you can see, I have the gifts from all those who gave me the gifts on their birthdays. I like to keep them. It's a very small thing that Mihoya made. Hello, little one. So yes, if you by any chance have seen the previous stream, this will be a rerun of Obi Oba, which is a book about an apocalyptic future. Oh goodness, I haven't fished for a while, so I can't remember which fish likes what treat. I hope I'm not wrong. Yes, I was right. So Obi Oba is set in the future, right after an atomic explosion went off, because there was a war. Koi liked feathers. Yes? No? So apocalyptic future right after an atomic war, which left the world obviously destroyed and void of nearly all people. Was not much of them left. And we know this scenario. It was in many movies, in many books and comics. It's a very overused scenario, I would say. A very popular theme, although nowadays zombies are more popular. Yes, thank you. And Obi Oba is about alive after the nukes destroy the world. And the main character, Soft, was in a group that had the fortune of having a bunker that they could hide in, so they didn't die in the explosion. But even though they were hidden, is it okay? Okay, it's okay. Even though they were hidden, there was nothing left for them after they got out. Everything was destroyed. Many people died. Well, most of people died. I spooked it. This one. And this group that was hidden in the bunker, into safe place that guaranteed this survival, they were a group of manipulators. It was their job to convince people about things. Oh, I can't reach there. To convince people to work in a certain way. They were not psychologists and nothing of the sort, but they were skilled in manipulation. No, it's not for you. This worm is not for you, little one. Sorry. And in order to save those that remained after the explosions, they convinced them to migrate to a place that was not done, but it could help them survive a little bit longer. Oh, yes. They made up a story about an ark, and most of us is aware of the story and how it goes in the Bible, because it's obviously connected. So they made a story about the new ark that could come and save them. But before the ark comes, they had to get to the safe city. A city hidden under a dome. A city placed on the top of the Alps. It was a safe spot. It was a safe spot that could make them survive till the ark comes. It was obviously just a way to convince people to go there, because it was such chaos. It was such chaos after the explosions. There was no cooperation. No, it was not here. It was chaos and lack of cooperation and... Come here. Not you. The pretty one. No one wanted to work with anybody else. Everyone was just, I will do my thing. I don't care. It's the end of the world. Why should I? So it was very hard to convince people to go to the Alps, to the safe place, to the city under the dome. And this bit is very important for me, because I want to make a project with a dome, with a city hidden inside. But it's for the future. Anyway, so they made up a story about an ark that would come and save them, that would take them to a safe, better place that they could live in. And the people went with it. Because faith is a powerful thing. But it's nothing new. It's really nothing new. They didn't even select all people that could go to the city, because the road was so hard that it was natural selection on the way there. They didn't need to do their own selection. It's all of them. And from what I remember, 2,500 people managed to get to the city, to the Dome City, I will call it, because it does not have an official name in the book. It does not have a name, so I will just call it Dome City. Almost like a crime city. Which weight do I have on my book? No. Okay. Come on. 2,500 people. It's not much. When you think about this, and think about how many people live in your city, how many people are around you, 2,500 is not much. It really isn't. So, and even though that those 2,500 people managed to get to the Dome City, it was only a little bit over 800 people that survived till the year later, when the story is told by Soft. 800 people. And those 800 people, most of them had faith. Should I? No, I will take the easy spots first. Most people of those 800, they believed in the Ark. They believed that the Ark will come. They had faith. It's just, well, I can believe that situation would happen in real life. I have normal bait. Yes. So they believed in the Ark. They were dying, well, obviously, from 2,500 to 800. They were dying from cold, from sickness, from hunger. And because, as the boss, Soft's boss, said, they were dying because they weren't taking care of themselves. They had such strong belief that the Ark will come and will save them that they didn't move a finger to better their lives. One was spooked, the other is more brave and dead. Whoop. So they didn't move a single finger to make their lives just a little bit slightly better. Just a smidge. But no. And obviously, there were people who... This one. Yes, this one. There were people who did something, like the women, some of the women. They created a strip club. Yes, it's an apocalyptic world. So they decide to make a strip club, and they got the money in an obvious way. Soft's woman was also a dancer in this club. Do you like this one? Do you like feathers or bugs? Come on. He loved her, she loved him, but she wanted money for the future and for their future child that she was convinced that they will get. And so she worked and worked and worked, and she and some of her colleagues believed that okay, they believed that when the Ark comes, there will be no much space for everybody. Oh yes, okay. Sorry, there won't be enough space for everybody, and they had this plan to get on the ship, climbing the ropes, because well, when a spaceship docks, they believe that they will hold it in place with ropes, with steel ropes, before it goes off again into the space. Because yes, the Ark was a spaceship in their imagination. Pretty cool. And a step up from the classic Ark. And so they trained rope walking on the steel ropes that were hanging below the ceiling of the dome. This one. And Soft's woman was obviously full of hope and faith, and she believed that the Ark will come. And so she trained the rope walking, and she was so optimistic about the future. She had a lot of money stored away, stored and waiting for the time she could spend it on her child. And then she died. Yep. She was training the... There's not a lot fishing spots in Mondstadt. Anyway, she was training the rope walking, and Soft came to visit her. He stood in the window, in the balcony window that the rope was tethered to, and she fell. She fell right before his eyes. not a fun moment for him, I would say. She fell. She went splat on the ground. And Soft was devastated, but in complete denial. He was like, it's okay, honey. It will be fine. Everything will be great on the Ark. Our child will be obviously happy. He was in such denial the whole time. He was moving through her room and cleaning it, moving things the way she would move them. Oh, well, it was his way to cope, obviously. So this is one character, his beloved. The next character is a goon. Because obviously if there was a boss, there was also his goons. And one of the goons had semi-okay relationship with Soft, although he was very... Why so little fish? He was very pushy and he did what he wanted to, not considering opinions of those that were... Nope. Of those that were below him in ranks. He also died. He died. It was a strange death. It was not mentioned. Do I want to swim? I will. Okay. It was a strange death because it was not mentioned how exactly did he die, but I assume he died of hunger or sickness of some kind. That's what happened to other people. I want normal. And he died. He was one of the manipulators. He was one of them. He knew that the Ark is false, that it will never come. But even though he died looking through a dirty window, looking out and seeing an Ark that was flying off into the space, he was devastated. Soft found him in his last moments, during his last moment. Oh, so many big fishes. Fishy, fishy. He found him dying. And the goon was telling him the Ark went off. It's leaving us, Soft. It's leaving us behind. And Soft confirmed this because he couldn't just deny him the faith and the belief about the fact that the Ark was indeed real. it was a bittersweet moment. Because on the one hand, the man died in pain with his soul crushed and with his hopes in tatters. And on the second hand, he believed so strongly that he had hallucinations, that he saw things that weren't there. What is sweet about this? That the fact that he believed. So the hopes somewhat is she spooked? No? Okay. So that his beliefs weren't fake or weren't wrong, more like this. They weren't wrong, and he was right, and the ark was real. So the heaven is also real. It was terrible, but all of this story is terrible. Then we have the engineer who also died. Spoiler alert. Oh, I haven't changed the time yet. Yes, I haven't. Because after this 1 year, the equipment on in the city, in the dome city, started to fail, and there was something very important that failed. Why? No, cancel. Why only one fish? There was something very important that started to fail. The food was also... There was not enough food. In the city, it was ending, and they even used books to make a food for people. It was quite strange, but it was feeling the stomachs. Here. I know you can eat paper, and it will fill you for a little bit of time, but it was nowhere near what all those people needed. But there was no food because nobody was providing it. Nobody wanted to. All of those people were useless, basically. Hello. So there was this critical failure in the dome. Oh. No. I will pick it up later. basically a mechanism that was keeping the dome together was starting to fail, and they needed a specialist who would repair it. But they didn't have one in the among those manipulator people, the group of manipulators. But there was one person that could repair the dome, and the boss told Soft to convince him to repair it. So Soft went to the engineer, found him, and failed to convince him. Basically what the engineer told him was that the dome, the city and the dome and everything here was meant to last only 1 year. Nothing less, nothing more. Why did you get spooked? Don't be a coward. Come on. And he declined. Okay, one more time. He declined any offer that Soft made him. He didn't agree to repairing the dome because it was useless. There was nothing to do. They couldn't do anything because it was meant to be. And later on, Soft found the engineer among all those people that chose to sleep on the street. They had houses. They had a lot of houses. There was enough houses for all of them. The city was big. It was short-lived, but it was big and it had enough space for everybody. But people chose to sleep on the streets because they didn't want to feel alone. They chose a group, sort of a group house, you could say. Let's try with this one. In order to connect with others, to not feel alone, to not die alone, because they were dying. And Soft found him dead a little bit later on. And he remembered when the engineer asked him to... Oh, yes, thank you. To not rat him out to the medics that were moving among those lying people and putting a tapes on them that they are dead and they need to be moved somewhere else. Yes, I have to pick this up. Whoop. Thank you. So he found him, he covered him with the cloth, and he left him there. He didn't rat him out to the medic that was near him, which was nice of him. Because the engineer wanted to die among everybody else, and he wanted to watch from the grave at the failure of the dome, at the final failure. So we had... why only 2 fishes? Why? Oh, and this one got spooked. And so we had the woman who was a stripper. And she died by falling off of the steel rope. And died in the most spectacular way of all of them. Nothing to be happy about, I think. We had the goon. We had the engineer. And then we have the boss. Who I don't... The last time Soft saw the boss was in the office. Oh, not this. In the office where the boss was getting drunk. Where did he get the alcohol? No idea. But he got it, he got drunk. And Soft left him there, and there was nothing more about the boss. His ending, the end of his story was not told. You could only guess that he just passed away in his office. It was implied, I think. It was only implied and not confirmed. He was the one who created the Ark and then got angry that people are doing nothing with their lives and are just sitting and waiting for the Ark. He even put a person on a radio station. And he told them to constantly a message that the Ark is not real, that it will not come, to get the people to work and do something. They didn't. And the engineer, I do remember that he told Soft that he doesn't believe in the Ark, but he wants to believe with all those people. Should I go here? I don't think I want to fish in the Dragon's Spine. There's very little fish. Not much fishes. So the boss probably died. And then there was this little... No. Oh. Shh. You don't see me. Okay. Oh, I hate this. Okay. Okay, it's okay. It's fine. So, then we have the small kid. He was living in a corridor. Oh, it just spawned. Pretty fish. I wanted to say just now that the kid spawned in the corridor, but no. He lived in the corridor. He was a good kid. He believed in the Ark. He wanted to believe in the Ark. And he told Soft, they had a small conversation, he told Soft that if the Ark is not real, if it won't come, if the reality is what they have, then they should just create an Ark. Smart little boy. At one point, Soft left him in the corridor with his bag because he packed everything into his bag for a reason I will tell in a moment. He packed his bag and left it with the kid. The kid died hugging the bag and guarding it as the Soft asked him to. Thank you. Then we have a librarian who was crazy. He was completely crazy. They told him to keep the books about one topic, and he kept all those books that had this one topic and nothing more. Everything else went to be a food for all those hungry people. It was crazy. He was crazy. He got trampled by others. He was trampled by others when they were running. And the thing is, the engineer also told Soft about one crucial thing. About a hangar full of planes. And Soft... Oh, sorry. And Soft... After the engineer told him about the hangar and the kid told him to create a new Ark, Soft thought, why not make a plane an Ark? Why not search for a place that maybe escaped the radiation that was covering the world after the nukes exploded? Because that's why they couldn't just live anywhere else. The radiation would kill them. Maybe not instantly, but death from radiation is a painful death. But he wanted to search for a better place, for any place, with the plane. Unfortunately, there was this one guy who made a business inside the Dome City. He created new money. He called it arcs. It were small tear-shaped steel plates. And he... Oh, no, sorry, you don't like this. You like feathers. Here you go. No? Ah. Sassy little thing. He created money, new currency, and he was obviously rich. He had tons of those new coins. Well, if you can call it coins. He had tons of this because he produced them also. Beside what the one man that officially created the arcs. Did I change the time? Oh, I think I did. Yes, I did. He made a business. He was happy. He was the king of that place. See this? When there is a dialogue option, this is not meant. It's not, believe me. He was the king of the Dome City. He was rich. He could get anything inside. Well, he used it for... Why only 2 fishes? What is this scam? It's a scam, I tell you. Use it for his own gain, for his own happiness and contentment, and for nothing else. But the fact is that he destroyed the planes in order to produce the coins. And Soft was not happy about this. They got in a fight. Soft left him bleeding. And with a broken nose? So the dream about going around the world with a plane, or, well, going anywhere with a plane got shattered. It was special. It was shortly after his beloved died, and that's why he left the kid with his bag, because he went for the plane, and he told the kid that if he waits here and guards the bag, he will take him with him on the new arc. The boss also begged him to get him on the arc. The boss was pitiful. He didn't know what to believe. He didn't know what to do anymore. It was truly pitiful. No, I didn't want to do this. Oh, Hutch, you are way over the... Okay. And then we have the... I'm thinking about if I omitted any of the characters, but I don't think I did. Ah, yes, I did. Excuse me. Soft's woman was living with brown crocodile. I could... STP. His woman was living with an older couple of rich people. They had a lot of money, a lot of resources. Both of them believed in the original arc, and they were heavy believers that the new arc will come. The husband was gathering animals and even asked Soft to be his son because, well, he needed a son. Excuse me. He needed a son in order to... Yes, I'm chaotic. Huh? Why? You were just dancing and I'm standing here. You are dead. And you are also dead. No crits for me. He needed a son. Two. I'm not even mad. He was heavy believer. His wife also believed, but she was more on the side of those that believed that the new Ark will be a spaceship. And so she gathered some women to make a giant blanket. They wanted to put the blanket on the walls because in the space you have zero gravity, and she didn't want for her husband to get any bruises, and she didn't want him to harm himself if he would be floating in the room in the spaceship. It was quite funny. They got trampled too, just like the librarian. Why trampled? Fishy! There is a tasty snack. Not long after all those events, after Beloved's death, after the fight with the rich man, after leaving his boss drunk in his office, the walls of the dome cracked. There was this one giant crack that appeared on the dome, and everybody was like, the Ark came! Look, people! It was dark in the dome. It was dark, there was not enough light. And when the dome cracked, the light from the outside went in, and they were blinded by it, and they took it as a sign. All those people that were still alive somehow rushed outside. The librarian got trampled during this. He had all those books with him, and he asked Soft to help him carry those books to the Ark, but Soft refused, and the librarian got trampled. The couple also got trampled. They tried to get through the crowd, but it was too chaotic, too fast, too many people in small space. They didn't survive. Nobody cared about those lying on the ground. Soft stayed in one place. He stayed behind the crowd, and he was just watching and observing. What are all those people doing? He was void of any emotions. He was just done. For all this story, you can see how his optimism just disappears. He had not much of an optimism because he knew that the arc is fake, that it's not real, that they need to do something in order to survive. That there was no much hope left, to be honest. He knew all of this, but at the end he was just done. And after all those people went outside, after they rushed into the snow, into the cold, into their death, he looked around himself. He looked at all those dead bodies, all those scattered possessions, and he went outside. There was nothing else to do, really. He couldn't stay inside the dome because the radiation would just seep in through the crack, through the gap. The radiation, the cold, the snow, everything. It was no matter if he holed up in one place because there was no more food. There was nothing. The idea about those planes were his last resort. Better. Ooh, we are fast boy. So he went outside with his bag. He looked up and he saw he saw a balloon, an air balloon. And you know that those air balloons have those baskets, and in this basket was his beloved. He knew right away what it means. She threw a rope. Or it was a rope ladder she threw him. He climbed up to her. He looked down and he saw himself. He threw his back to his other self that was standing in the snow. And they went up, 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 up and away. And the soft on the ground, the soft that was left behind, he picked up the bag and smiled, looking up. It's kind of a loop. It's kind of a loop. And so Obi Oba is a story about post-apocalyptic city that is hidden under the dome. Oh, oh, sorry, I didn't want to do this. Can I? No. Oh, yes. I didn't want to spook you. Oh. A post-apocalyptic story about a city hidden under the dome. A city that was meant to last only a year. About people who had faith, too much faith. And about those who had no faith but wanted to believe. They knew that it was not real and not realistic at all, but they wanted to believe. Because believing in something means that there is still hope left. Oh, new one. And even though all those characters, all those people died, all of them died in a different way. Well, maybe some of them died similarly, like the librarian and the couple that were trampled by people. But their characteristics were different. The couple believed in the new arc, while the librarian wanted to preserve the knowledge that he had gathered about this one particular subject that they told him to keep, to guard, to conserve and preserve. And he did, until he died. His beloved died while believing, while having hope. His boss died chaotically and with confusion and not knowing what is real and what is not anymore. The rich man had fun. He had fun for 1 year, and then it ended. While the engineer died not believing in Ark, but wanted to believe, and wanted to be with people. We have also the goon. The goon who believed so heavily that he started to hallucinate. And the child who had hope. One more fish. Ha! What a nice way to end. Thank you very much for watching this. I had slight trouble in retrying, I would say. I know I talk chaotically, and I know I'm not particularly good at this, because it was a long time since I did remotely anything similar to this, and I need to get used to it. But I'm willing to try. I will get better books, but this Obioba was very important for me. It is very important for me, and it will be important in the future. You will see. That's why I wanted to tell it one more time, and that's why I won't forget this time to put it in the archive. I will even create a YouTube archive in order to store my future videos and to prevent the disappearance from happening again. Because when I forgot to put my videos in the archives. It was not a lot, but it was my start. It was my start that I neglected to to conserve, just like the librarian. I got trampled by life, but in a good way. Good things happened, but they took time. They took some of my time, and I just failed. I failed in something that I should do. I'm not yet comfortable with talking, and I will get used to it again. It was just some time that passed since I talked that much in English. And since I have a slight condition with my hearing, I hear a lot of things that should differ. They are very similar to me, like sun and son. So excuse me in the future if I say something incorrectly. I try, I really try. And I will try even more, because the streaming that I took on myself is meant to motivate me to speak more in English, because I really, really neglected this, and I shouldn't. And this will motivate me, and this will keep me up to date, I would say, and prevent me from losing touch with English. I did lose touch with English a little bit, especially spoken one. And it is also to motivate me to read my books again. I haven't read any of my books in a long time, and I want to repair this fact, to correct it. This will help me, I think. I hope. We will see. So yes, I will create a series about doing stuff with science fiction books. I will try to narrate them and tell the stories coherently, but I don't make any promises, okay? Because I'm a slightly chaotic person that gets distracted easily. But I hope you will put up with me. So, if you have watched this, and if you are interested in more science fiction books, both soft and hard science fiction, I can make a video about the distinction between those two, because this is very interesting. So if you are interested, feel free to come, and feel free to chat with me, to ask questions, to provide tips. Because the last time I spoke about stories or anything similar to this, was a long time ago. Thank you very much. Goodbye.